Hi everyone. Okay, then let's move on to the class. I would like to ask some volunteer to pray.
Our gracious Father in heaven, we thank thee for this time that we all can come once again to your feet and we can learn from thy word, Father. Bless the one, those who will be speaking, Father. May you please give us the knowledge and wisdom from above so that we all can understand. May the word may be simplified to each one of us, the students and all the one those who will be listening to the message, Father. May you clarify everything that you will be sharing to us this afternoon. Thank you for the goodness and mercy that you have showered upon us. This prayer we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
So today we'll be learning about one particular disease and its treatment. Okay. So it's going to be very simple class today. We'll start with natural remedies. Okay. Why do you think natural remedies is the best?
No side effect.
No side effect. Okay. So natural remedies require very little amount of money, and it also is very cheap. It has no side effects. And also, the one difference between natural remedies and drugs is that drugs only treat the symptom, right? It just treats the symptoms of your disease. But in natural remedies, we find the cause and we treat the cause. So as we saw yesterday, we need to find the cause of the disease and treat the cause. We're not supposed to treat the symptom. So if we treat the symptom will again come because the cause is not removed. Natural remedies is the best when coming to treating with disease with mild symptoms. If it's too serious, then we have to get medical aid. If we have less symptoms, then it's best always to go with natural remedies. And we also need to have a thorough knowledge of natural remedies. There's no side effect in natural remedies, but if we don't have a knowledge of the disease, it will be harmful, right? So we need to know what disease is it, what is the cause of it properly before we go on with treating the disease. So it's very important to know the symptoms and the cause of the disease and also how to treat it and some of the cautions we also need to know. Each one's body is different. So one symptom might not be there in another person. So we can't treat everyone equally. We need to know their personal body, how their body works and how much they're able to cope up with it. So today we'll be just seeing about one illness. Is it fine?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So one more disclaimer I would like to make is because there will be some others who are viewing it also. So I would like to say that this video is not to be used to diagnose any disease, but it is just giving help to treat disease. Okay. So you cannot take just the instructions given here, diagnose a disease and treat by yourself. But it is also a very great aid and it's a help. Okay. So with wise medical counsel, we can actually follow the instructions which you're going to see in this video. Okay, so let's go on to the first illness. Okay, the normal common cold. How many of you have not got a cold till now?
This year I did not got once also.
Okay, that's praise God for that. So your lifestyle is very good. But most of us we actually catch a cold, right? We catch a cold, or sometimes we get some cough, a little bit of fever. It just comes on and off. And most of the people in the world they have cold every other day. Some of them have cold every day because of the allergy. So today we'll just see how to treat a disease. Okay, we'll just go from the beginning and we'll see how to find the cause and how to treat the disease with natural remedies. Okay, take for example cold. Okay, today we're going to see about cold. You can write this down and please let me know if you have not finished writing so that I can slow down. Okay.
Common
Okay.
cold.
Yes, this is common cold, cough, a slight cough, common cold, and also like a bit of headache. That you know what happens when a cold comes, right? You can put the heading as common cold and cough, and below it you can write the symptoms. First, we are going to see what is common cold. Okay, what are the symptoms for it? How you identify that it is a common cold? So we are going to see the symptoms. Okay, first you'll have a runny nose, right? In a common cold, you'll have a runny nose. You'll also have watery eyes. Okay, your eyes will water. Sometimes you have slight fever, not too high fever. You'll have slight fever. You'll have throat irritation. You'll have a sore throat. You'll also have slight headaches, and then you'll have a slight body pain. Okay, you'll have slight body pain. The main symptom of cold is sneezing. Okay, we sneeze a lot when you have cold. That's actually because the body is trying to get the virus out of the body. Okay, so some virus has entered and it wants to get out. Okay, it wants to get out, and that's the body's way of expelling the virus. Okay, the sneezing. So What will happen if you take a drug for cold? If you take a medicine for cold, okay, the virus which is supposed to come out from the body, uh, if you take a drug, it will not come out, right? It stops the symptoms just there. So natural remedies is very good because it helps the body to expel the impurities and the virus and the bacteria out of the body. Okay, did you get the symptoms?
Yes.
Okay,
Running nose,
runny nose. Oh yes, you
fear,
can tell me. You can tell me. Yes.
slightly headache, slightly you have body pain and the sneezing.
Okay, sneezing. You can add this one also. Sometimes you'll have a loss of taste and smell also. Okay, because you don't feel like eating. You'll feel like you want to sleep. You want to take rest. Now let's go to the causes of cold. Okay, there may be many causes for cold. I would like to tell around 10 causes for cold. Okay, first cause for cold is lack of immunity. Okay, if you have low resistance in your body to disease, the first thing you will catch is a cold. The next cause is overexposure to cold climate. If you're in a cold climate, if it's winter, and if you're too much outside in the cold, so because of the temperature change, you'll have a cold. The third thing is lack of proper sleep. How many hours do we need to sleep every day?
7.
7 to 8 hours a day. So if we don't get that optimum sleep, basically what happens is our immunity goes down and thus we catch a cold. So lack of proper sleep is another cause for cold. And next thing is not drinking enough water. Okay, lack of water. You see what happens is when we drink more water, the blood becomes thin and it's easily able to flow through our body. So when we don't drink enough water, what happens is the immunity cells, okay, the cells which are important for the immunity and for fighting the bacteria and the virus, what happens is it's not able to move and it's not able to fight because the blood is not very thin and not very smooth to flow. So we need to drink lots of water so that our immune cells are very active and are easily able to flow through our body. Okay. Another thing is some they are very allergic to certain things like pollen, dust. You might have seen, right? If somebody is in a room where there's a lot of dust, they automatically start sneezing because they're allergic to it. So that is also one of the cause. Sometimes you get a cold because you'll have some infection in your body. So suppose you have an infection in your lungs, sometimes it starts with a cold. So recent infections because your body would have become weak due to that infection and your immune power resistance would have become low. So that is also a cause for cold. There's another major cause for cold. Okay, that is eating sugar. Okay, white sugar. When you eat sugary products, it actually confuses the brain. Okay, confuses the body, and all your immune cells. It stops working for around 5 hours. It just confused. Okay, it doesn't know what to do. So eating sugar will actually reduce your immunity power, and it will stand still for 5 hours. So any virus comes during that time, your body will not be able to fight. So you get a cold because of sugar consumption also. Overeating is also one of the reasons. Okay, so these are the causes of cold. So if you have any other reason, you can say.
Bathing for long time.
Okay, in cold water, early
Yeah.
morning, Early morning, Okay, maybe it's because of the temperature change. Okay, it could be. Okay, before we go to the treatment, okay, I would like to tell a caution. Okay, there's caution actually. It's actually good to study in this way because when you treat people, you'll be responsible and you can be able to tell them clearly and make them understand clearly. Caution before you treat someone with cold. Okay, you need to beware and you need to be careful if they have high fever, if they have chest congestion, if they have extreme tiredness. Okay, slight bit of tiredness is fine, but if they have extreme tiredness, they're not able to walk, they feel sleepy all the time, so that is only extreme tiredness. And if they have cough which is severe, okay, slight cough 1 or 2 times is okay, but if they have severe cough, then it's a caution. Now let's go to the prevention part. Okay, how to prevent a cold? Prevention is better than cure. So how do we prevent a cold?
Now the causes that we have seen, like 10 points.
Yes.
So we like if we like exposing to like cold climate, so we avoid that one. If we are like
Okay.
sleeping, if we are lacking the sleep, then we have to little bit like be in a position where we all can like the opposite of the cause. Whatever we have
Okay.
seen, we have to do opposite of that.
Yes. Okay. So that is a very good point, actually. So uh, correct the things which are in the cause, right? I would like to tell you few preventive measures, okay, in order to not catch a cold. First thing is getting outdoor exercise regularly. That's very good to prevent a cold. So the second point is we need to dress properly. I mean, dress warmly in a cold climate. In winters, we need to cover the extremities. We need to wear socks. We need to do those preventive measures so that we don't catch a cold. Also, there's another preventive measure, that is to avoid being too close with someone who has a cold. Okay. Also, as we saw in the cause, lack of sleep, lack of proper sleep also leads to cold. So we need to have 7 to 8 hours of sleep. And of course, this is a main point. We need to drink lots and lots of water every day. So at least 2.5 liters to 3 liters of water is actually needed every day. And also avoiding sugar and all its products, avoiding milk and its products, and also maintaining proper hygiene. Okay. So these are the things to prevent. Now let's go to the natural remedies. Actually, the natural remedies are very, very simple. I'm sure you would have also done it. Which is a vitamin which helps with our immunity?
Vitamin C.
Yes, we need to take lots and lots of vitamin C rich foods, okay? Like lemon water. So you can take at least 3 to 4 times in a day. You can drink lots and lots of lemon water. With you can add honey, you can add ginger juice to it, and you can drink during a cold. Though it doesn't help the cold to go away in just a day, but it helps to shorten the period of a cold. Okay, and it also reduces the severity of the symptoms. Okay, so lemon water with honey and ginger is good for a cold. Many people, what they do is, they once they catch a cold, they just pop in a tablet and they go to work, right? So but when we have a cold, it's always best to take rest. uh, Take good rest and drink lots of fluids and juices, lots of fluids to keep the body hydrated. Okay, and help the immune system to fight it. Actually, it's very good to eat light food, not to eat heavy meals, but it's always good to give the body time to fight the bacteria and the virus. So it's better to eat light food when we are sick. And there's one more precious thing which we can eat, which helps boost our immune system, and that is garlic. Okay, so eating raw garlic is the best. Eating raw garlic with food, 2 or 3 garlic with food during our meals should actually improve our immune system. You can also add onion to it. So raw garlic and onion helps increase immunity and to helps to fight the virus. Also, there's a well-known hydrotherapy treatment, that is steam inhalation. Okay, so we add eucalyptus oil to the water, cover with a bedsheet or a blanket, and we take the steam for at least 10 to 15 minutes or 15 to 20 minutes. So this is a very good way to remove the mucus out from our nose, okay, and from our body. So it also actually helps really with the cold. So at least taking steam inhalation 3 times a day would be good. Once the symptoms reduce, you can take 2 times a day. So at least for 2 or 3 days, if you continue steam inhalation, it's actually good. Also, when you have symptoms of cold, you can take hot foot bath so that it helps with the blood circulation. Next 2 points is one which I practiced personally and have found it beneficial. So I would like to share that with you. That's none other than camphor. Do you know camphor? They use this camphor for doing the pujas and all, no, in the temple. Do you know that?
Kapoor,
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think that is right one.
the
So
white,
do you know that? Yeah, the white color one.
and they burn like it smells good.
Yes, you can take camphor. It's very, very good for treating a cold or a cough. I'll tell you how to do that. You can actually ask in the stores. You'll get camphor even in the normal stores. Take 2 or 3 tablets of camphor. Heat coconut oil in the stove, and once the oil is too hot, take it away from the stove and put this camphor in the oil. Okay, and once this camphor melts in the oil, what you can do is just before going to sleep, you have to do this. So once the camphor is dissolved in the oil, hot oil, once you're able to touch it, no, once you're able to touch the oil, it should not be too cool, but slightly hot itself. You can just take that and apply it to your back, okay, to your back and to your chest. You can also apply it behind your ears. You can apply it on your forehead. You can apply it under the feet. You can nicely apply, and for 2 minutes, you can just massage and you can just go to sleep. This is a very, very best way, and I have tried this personally. It really helps me a lot. So please try this. You can also share with others. Hope you got the method. If you have any doubt, please you can ask me. Okay, you will get camphor in tablet form. Okay, actually, I can show you what is camphor. Can you just wait for 30 seconds?
Yes, 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 please.
No, I'm not going to show you how to heat it, but I'll show you what is camphor. Okay, are you able to see it? It will be this kind. Okay, it will be white. It will have a very good smell.
They put this one in clothes to like so that
No,
the
no,
rat
no,
can.
no, no, no. This is not that. I don't know what to say it in Hindi. This is actually used in pujas. They do the in the Hindu temples. Hindu people do pujas, right?
Yes, yes.
They burn it. They burn this actually.
In Hindi
They burn
also,
this while doing puja.
in Hindi also we call it kapur only. There is
Kapoor.
one kapur that we use it inside our houses to in the clothes inside in a bunk box where we pack our things so it the things stays good. Insect doesn't get inside there. That's why we use this. And the second one we use it in the temples, but
Okay.
both we call it kapur.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, I'm telling the one which they use in the temples for burning, and they do the pujas. Okay, so you need to take that camphor. It has a very good smell, but it's not the one which we use for the clothes. It's not the one for the clothes. This is the one they use for the in the temples. Take this camphor. What you have to do is you need to take three capsules of this, and you need to heat oil. Okay, heat 2 or 3 small spoons of oil. Okay, you need only so much. Take 2 or 3 spoons of coconut oil. You heat the coconut oil once it's hot. Okay, once it's hot, put off the stove and add 2 or 3 camphor to it. So what will happen is it will dissolve. Okay, it will dissolve in it. Once it dissolves in it, you can actually apply it. Okay, apply it to your back, and also to your chest, also to your shoulders, and also behind the ears, and also to your forehead. Okay, so apply it for 2 minutes, and then slightly massage for 1 minute, and then you need to just go straight to bed. It actually does wonders when you wake up in the morning. Okay, you'll feel much much better. Anybody having a cold can actually try this, and please let me know the results.
The process we understood, but I have not say like
Oh yeah,
practically.
okay, 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 fine. It's okay. When you go out next time, you can actually ask for camphor, which they use in the temples. You can find it. Actually, you can find it in all the nearby shops. So it's a very very good remedy, which I personally have used and have found good results. Okay. And the next thing is, when you have a cough or a cold or chest congestion, what you do is when you sleep, you cut an onion and keep it next to your bed. When you keep an onion next to your bed, what it does is it actually absorbs all the harmful things in the room. Are you all fine with it? Did you all
Yes.
understand everything which I taught?
Yes.
Any doubts on this?
No.
Okay, there are 2 types of fever. The next heading will be fever. You can write it down. The ones I'm going to tell now is not for children. It is for adult. Okay, adults who having fever, age above 6. So basically, when it comes to fever, fever is of 2 types. Okay, 2 types. One is with cough and cold. Okay, one is with cough and cold. The other fever is without a cough and cold. Okay, so treatment is not the same for both. It differs. We need to know if it's with a cough and cold or it's without a cough and cold. So because the diseases to which this fever will lead to is different. Okay, so the first thing is when you meet a patient or when you meet someone with fever, the first question you need to ask is, are they having cough and cold along with it? Are they not having cough and cold? Okay, this is the first question we need to ask. And the second question we need to ask is, how long have they been having the fever? Okay, if it's less than 5 days, only then we are going to treat. Okay, if the fever is lasts long for 5 days, it's better to take them to the hospital and get a medical guidance before we start any treatment. Fever with cough and cold is not as serious, but fever without cough and cold is actually serious. So it's very important. So if the fever is less than 5 days, then we'll actually move on to the natural remedies. The first sickness in fever with cough and cold. Okay, sinusitis. Okay, sinus trouble. You know where are the sinuses, right? What is sinusitis? It is the inflammation or the infection of the sinus points. Okay, when the sinuses get inflamed or it gets infected, that's when we call the disease named sinusitis, or we say sinus trouble. Okay, so I'll tell you the symptoms for sinusitis. You can just write it down. You'll have tenderness. Okay, you'll have tenderness in your cheekbone. Okay, your face will be so tender. Okay, it will be so tender. You'll have a lot of headache. Okay, you'll have heavy headache, and you'll also have heaviness of your head. Your head will feel too heavy when you have sinusitis. Also, you will have thick yellow discharge from your nose, often on one side. Sometimes, because of sinusitis, your face will seem a little bit swollen. Next thing is to confirm whether it's sinusitis. What you need to do is you need to check the sinuses. Okay, if you have someone with sinusitis, you need to check the sinuses. You need to press the sinuses and ask them if they have pain in that area. Okay, you can have headache in a cold also. Okay, you can have discharge in a cold also. But in sinusitis, you'll have yellow discharge. That is the thing you can differentiate. Okay, what happens when you press the sinuses is you'll have pain. Okay, so if you're having sinusitis, you'll have pain in your sinuses. I'll tell you the causes of sinusitis. Sometimes what happens is once we catch a cold, if you don't treat it and if you don't treat a cough, what happens is it gets infected. Okay, these sinuses which has all this phlegm, what happens is it gets infected. So when it gets infected, that's when we call this as sinusitis. One more cause of sinusitis is if you have any injury to your bones in your nose. Okay, one more cause of this is pollen, or you know what's a pollen, right, from the plants. So some are allergic to pollen. Also, when people are allergic to milk and its products, we need to have great caution because this is fever with cough and cold, and this is sinusitis. Okay, it's not the normal cold. So we need to take a lot of caution before treating someone or before treating yourself also. So first thing is we need to watch out if they're having swelling around their eyes. Okay, if they're having swelling around the eyes, it's better to visit a doctor and to get proper medical advice. Okay, if they're having the symptoms for more than 5 days, it's always best to ask a medical guidance. Let's see the natural remedies for this. Whatever the natural remedies we did for a cold, we can actually continue for sinusitis. First thing to prevent sinusitis is to treat a cold or to treat a cough immediately when it comes. First thing is not ignore a cold or a cough or a sore throat. Sometimes we have sore throat, right? But we just go on with our work without any treatment, proper treatment for it. And we need to take lots and lots of lemon water. One more tip I can tell you is drink lemon water every day. Okay, every day early in the morning in empty stomach. It's actually very very good. It keeps your body alkaline and it prevents a lot of diseases. And during fever, we always need to drink lots and lots of fluids. The main thing when we get sick is to follow New Start. All the principles of New Start are very important. Even for a cold, it may be a simple common cold, it may be a fever, it may be any other disease. But unless we go back to New Start and follow all its principles, the healing will be just temporary. So we need to follow New Start and then we need to take all these treatments so that we can have a full benefit from natural remedies. We need to avoid tobacco, alcohol, also white flour products, maida and sugar, white rice. Okay, all these things when you're sick, it's always good to avoid. And for sinusitis, the best is garlic water. Okay, and you can keep drinking that throughout the day so that it helps fight the bacteria. Also, for sinusitis, you can have steam inhalation twice a day. Don't let the fever go very high. The fever should come under control. So keep a cold compress to your forehead, and if needed, rub the body with a cold cloth so that the fever comes down. If the fever stays for more than 4 days, it is always best to visit the doctor for medical guidance. We are just medical missionaries who are helping to treat disease. So before things go out of control, it's always best to have medical advice. To bring the phlegm and the mucus out of our body, it's best to drink hot water. Tomorrow we'll see about high blood pressure. Someone can offer the closing prayer.
Our Heavenly Father, thank you so very much once again that we could do our studies and we can learn some of the general diseases that often people get. Help us so that we all can learn all these things, all the symptoms and the preventive measures and the natural remedies, Father. Help us so that we all can keep our body in a good condition so that we all can keep our mentally, we all can be strong, Father. Thank you, and we continue to guide us throughout the day. And we ask this prayer in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.